2022 NBA regular season is over, and right now it is all about the NBA playoffs. The spotlight segment on today's edition of the show is dedicated to the NBA playoffs, and I'm doing this with someone who has so much knowledge about the league. Joining me on today's edition of the show is none other than Akintunde Young. Akintunde Young, fantastic pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you very much for having me, Solomon. And like you said, this is the business end of the season.
Yes, sir.
Games that have happened over the last 6 months or 7 months are not important, but this is it. This is the reason why we play those 82 games to get to the playoffs, and it's here, baby. We can't wait tonight.
Okay, quickly, let's start. Before we look at the playoffs, let's start from the regular season itself. For you, high points, low points, disappointing teams. I know disappointing teams. Let's say it's definitely it can't be more than the Lakers. But let me get those points for him before we move to the playoffs.
High points for me definitely has to be Steph Curry breaking the all-time 3-pointer record.
Yes.
Officially the greatest 3-point shooter of all time, even though we already knew it was just there to pass that record. There are so many high points this season, but for the disappointments, you already mentioned the biggest one, which is the Lakers.
No LeBron in the postseason.
LeBron's postseason record was perfect before he came here. Look, the Lakers preseason were second on the list of favorites behind the Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And funny thing is, the Brooklyn Nets also did not make the playoffs. They made the play-in. They only finished seventh for two teams that were expected to win in the East and West, and then eventually meet in the finals. One is not even in the playoffs, and the other is barely in the playoffs. It just shows you how massively disappointing these teams have been. But in their stead, some great teams have risen. You've seen Nikola Jokic.
The likes of the Grizzlies. I enjoyed what I saw with that very young team.
Yeah, Grizzlies finishing second in the Western Conference for majority of the season without Ja Morant, and they still held their own. That right there is a fantastic team, and their coach is very well on course to be coach of the year, in my opinion. So look, this season has just been, there are so many record-breaking moments. Nikola Jokic became the first player to record 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 500 assists in a season, which is just ridiculous when you think about it. Joel Embiid became the first center scoring champion in over 20 years. The last center to do it was Shaq. It's been powerful in the forwards and guards ever since. So this season has just been incredible, and I cannot wait to see what the playoffs will give us.
Okay, let's move to the postseason now. To the postseason, the playing tournaments before the playoff itself. Now, this is where I'm actually going to. It's looking like a lot of things that you expect to actually do well have failed during the regular season. Should we look forward to that in the playoffs?
The play-ins are tricky. Here's how it works. It's because first,
break it down quickly.
The top 6 teams qualify for the playoffs automatically. The play-in is 7 to 10. So 7 plays 8. The winner of that qualifies as the 7th seed. Then when 9 plays 10, the winner of that will now face the loser of 7 versus 8. So in the East, for example, Brooklyn Nets are 7, Cavaliers are 8. Cavs versus Nets will play. I expect just one game
of the next.
I expect the Nets to win that and qualify as the 7th seed, which will mean they will face the Celtics in the playoffs. Then the loser of that game, the Cavaliers, will face the winner of the 9 versus 10, which is the Charlotte Hornets versus Atlanta Hawks, for a chance to qualify as the 8th seed and then get to face Miami Heat. So look, the Nets are still the Nets, even though they are in this predicament. They are still the Nets. If I was the Boston Celtics or Miami Heat, I would not want to face them in the first round. Literally in the first round. They have Kyrie, they have KD, we are hearing Simmons because even if he doesn't come back, Kyrie and KD is enough to beat any team in 7 games. So that's not something I'm looking forward to. The East has proven a lot more competitive than the Western Conference this year. We see the Western Conference, the 4 best teams in the league are in the Western Conference.
The Suns,
the Memphis Grizzlies, the Golden State Warriors, and the Dallas Mavericks. In fact, the Dallas Mavericks with their current standing can actually finish second in the Eastern Conference, even though they are 4th in the West. So that's basically breakdown. I've seen like the likes of Denver Nuggets, the likes of Utah Jazz. Denver Nuggets are 6th, Utah Jazz are 5th, and look, this the playing itself
could be very tricky.
Yeah, definitely, because some good teams, even in the West, Minnesota Timberwolves was one of my favorite teams to watch this season. Finished 7th. The Clippers are 8th. Normally both teams.
Even the Clippers should be top there.
Minnesota versus LA Clippers will play in the playing game for who will get the 7th seed. I expect the Clippers to win that together with Paul George back. So that means Minnesota will now have to face the winner of Suns versus Pelicans, which I expect Minnesota to also win. So either way, these teams will go through all this trouble to face the two best teams in the league in the first round. So whoever wins, you are waiting for the Phoenix Suns and the Memphis Grizzlies are waiting for you in the first round of the playoffs. So that's why for me the playing system is a bit.
But I think they are just bringing in more matches, more.
Yeah, they just
money for TV.
Just want more teams to feel like they're part of it. Normally it's just usually the first 8 teams
and they
goes through to the playoffs. But that they want to extend it to 10 to make it more competitive, make more teams get involved, and that's why it has worked for teams like San Antonio Spurs who finished 10th in the West. They have no business playing any type of postseason
at all.
They have no.
But thanks to Lakers though. That's the Lakers.
Lakers somehow failed to make the play-in, not even the playoff. Failed to make the play-in with LeBron James putting us statistically the second best scoring season ever. He averaged 30.3 points at 37 years old. Average 30.3, average just over 8 rebounds, just over 6 assists per game. I don't know what else. The Lakers have massively fumbled LeBron's prime, and it's no surprise that Frank Vogel has paid for him with his job.
Exactly. Now, quickly, let's move to the likely winners. Let me start from the West. From the West, I didn't know how they did it this season, but I was worried they would not build on it from last season. Remember they got to the finals last season? I was scared for the Suns that they would not build on it. They actually built on it, and they were arguably the best team in the regular season. Coming into the playoffs, likely winners, especially from the West.
Alright, let me give you my Western Conference prediction. The Suns will most likely face the team that finished 8th after the play, which for me will be the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I expect the Suns to win that series confidently. Then the Memphis Grizzlies.
Once is 5 games.
Yeah, the Memphis Grizzlies will face the team that finished 7th. Clippers. That is my biggest upset for the first round. I think the Clippers will beat the Memphis Grizzlies because the postseason is not the same as regular season. The Memphis Grizzlies base their game on fast play, fast breaks. They really don't. They are not accustomed to playoff basketball where everything slows down. There's a lot of fast things, so nobody's really doing much running. You actually have to break teams down with your plays, and I don't think they can do it. I think the Clippers, especially with Paul George around, will beat them in the first round. I think that's just my own prediction. And the third, the Golden State Warriors versus the Denver Nuggets.
It's another big one.
Massive game. Massive game. With Jokic in the form of his life. That was the one I cannot really call.
The shooting in that game will be great.
I'm leaning towards the Warriors because they have a better team. But also you cannot override Jokic. That's just the thing. And the last matchup in that Western Conference between the 4th and the 5th is Dallas Mavericks versus the Utah Jazz, which on paper Utah Jazz should win. Utah Jazz finished top of the Western Conference last season, and I expect them to. They have Donovan Mitchell, they have Rudy Gobert, 3-time defensive player of the year, most likely going to win the 4th this year. First player to average 15 points per game on 70% shooting. It's incredible. But this Dallas Mavericks team under Jason Kidd, Jason Kidd, who the Lakers could have hired by the way, was the Lakers assistant coach. They didn't give him the job. He went to Dallas Mavericks first as the head coach, as the main manager, and the first season is already the fourth best team in the league. So this team is a serious team. We look at Doncic playing some of the best basketball of his career right now as well, and got to some really good pieces to face with Spencer Dinwiddie and the rest of them. I think the Mavericks can't take it. That's my first round prediction for the West. The East is a lot trickier. For the play-ins, I expect Brooklyn Nets and Atlanta Hawks to come out of that play-in at the 7th.
Atlanta Hawks from 10.
Yeah, from 9 actually.
They take out the Hornets. They take out
the Cavs. Cavs lose to Brooklyn. So that's the 7th and 8th seed. And then Celtics are my favorite team to watch this season. They've been very good. And
especially with the Nigerian.
They're finishing second in the East. But I don't see how they beat the Brooklyn Nets. They are so unlucky to. After your hard work, get to face the Brooklyn Nets in the first round. I think they will lose that series. Even if it's marginally, I think they will lose that series. The Miami should be able to beat the Atlanta Hawks. And in third, we have the Bucks who will be facing the 6th seed, the Bulls, another team with Nigerians. 2 teams with strong Nigerian players. Ayo Dosunmu is having a very good season for the Chicago Bulls in his rookie season. The Bucks, of course, have the likes of Giannis and Paul, and then Jordan Nwora, actual Nigerian international. But I think the Bucks will win that one actually. I think they might even sweep the Bulls. And then for the last matchup, the 4th and 5th, Philadelphia 76ers and Toronto Raptors, the most clear matchup in this postseason first round for me. If the Sixers do not beat the Raptors in maximum 5 games, they are not a serious team. Not because the Raptors are not good, but it's the Sixers. They were built for this moment. Doc Rivers has an history of choking with good teams. In the postseason, they did it with the Clippers 2 seasons in a row. He's done it, but the only time he's not choked is that one season when he won the championship with the Celtics, with the Kevin Garnett and the Paul Pierce and the realities of this world. But for this one, he has to definitely defeat the Raptors, even though the Raptors also have Nigerian players at Chiba, the Nigerian center. So there's a lot of Nigerian players. If you want to get into the NBA, get into it for the Nigerian center. Support, I've mentioned the Bulls, Ayo Dosuru, can support the Bucks, Jordan Nwora and Giannis, can support Toronto, Precious Achiuwa, as I just mentioned. The Celtics have a Nigerian head coach, the first and only Nigerian head coach in NBA history. Ime can also play for the Tigers, so you can support that as well. There's a lot of Nigerians for it to follow.
Okay, let's pick a winner. You're picking a winner who wins the final in the West, who wins the final in the East for the actual playoff finals. Just pick one team from both conferences. Just pick one from both conferences.
That's a tricky one, but I would say the Brooklyn Nets win this just based on the fact that they have a team built for the postseason and they still have two of the best players in the history of the game, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and they have some nice pieces to fit around Seth Curry shooting, well, Patty Mills, Joe Harris, all those guys can contribute in the tight games. And I said they win this, even though it looks unlikely coming in through as a playing team. It looks unlikely, but I think they win this. And in the West, I can't say beyond the Phoenix Suns. They won the West last year. There's no reason for them to not do it again. Now, with the chip on their shoulder, they finished second in the NBA last season. They lost the final to the Bucks. They might be, wanting to repeat that. Or we might even get a repeat final. Who knows? The Bucks. Let's not write them off. They are the champions for a reason, and they finished third this year again. So let's not write them off. They might want to repeat with the Bucks. I think the Suns are definitely winning the Western Conference in my opinion. But the East, I'm leaning towards the Nets, but also it might be either between the Nets and the Bucks.
Interesting. I did tell you earlier before we started that he has a lot more knowledge about the league, and I'm sure you've seen that already. Tunde Young, fantastic having you dissecting the NBA playoffs for us. Very interesting. That's how we take a stop on the Spotlight segment. We'll take a quick break, but we promise there's still more to come on Prime Sport today. All you need to do is stay tuned, and we'll be right back.